currently 11-2 in the Big 12. Let's check out the starting lineups for this one. Kansas has Mason, Graham, Jackson, Mikhailuk, and Lucas. Starting 5 for Baylor. LeConte. McClure continues to start, although Al Freeman's 3-game suspension is over. He is available. Wainwright, Motley, and Lawal Achuwil. Bill Self, longest tenured coaches in the Big 12. Self, 14 years in. And Scott Drew, also 14 years in as the head man at Baylor.
On your feet, Baylor.
Our officiating crew, Joe DeRosa, Mike Stewart, and Bert Smith. Bill, you know which team is which based on the uniform color, yes?
I'm very impressed. And I thought you lost your dentures on one of those pronunciations early.
I have
a
sudden urge to highlight very important legal documents based on the uniform that Baylor is wearing. Motley will jump it up along with Lucas. Big-time matchup in Waco. Kansas and Baylor, and we're underway.
And right now, thank you, Scott Drew. Hey, an eagle. Well, it's a 1-3-1 morph matchup with good principles.
Kansas out on the perimeter.
Good hands.
Deflected. On the push, Motley drives in. Oh, the Euro step. It doesn't go. Rebound ripped down. Motley muscles it through to put Baylor on the board.
And that is their game. Height is their strength. Handling this 1-3-1, they make themselves bigger on the wings. Tough to get entry passes. Nice pass, a little harsh, but I like the... Jackson's very good at that. Flashing and finding.
So a couple of turnovers early, trying to hit Lucas underneath. Kansas is coming off that remarkable comeback against West Virginia on Monday night. 84-80 overtime victory, dramatic win. They trailed by 14 with 2:58 remaining and beat the Mountaineers.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Little post up, no double. They like to bounce, use both hooks.
The wall,
left and right.
Achuwil can't get it to drop. And the rebound controlled by Mikhailuk.
Try and beat the zone down as quickly as you can push it. This is where he's gotten better.
Left hand, no good. Lucas snags it on the inside. Kansas can get a reload. They will with Graham. Corner pop, no. Lucas battling on the interior, and a foul called on Lucas.
And that is an area of concern. I thought that was a little bit of a play on. A lot of physicality. Of course, the big guy usually, I think that's just a play on, unfortunately for Kansas. The big thing is beating the zone down, being in the proper spot, and kick-out passes. You will only get a ball screen drive. This will limit Mason somewhat.
Baylor, #1 in the conference in rebounding margin. They averaged nearly 8 more rebounds per game than their opponent. Back in, Motley double team.
Nice job by Mikhailuk breaking down.
The repush. Motley fades short. Rebound, caroms out. And a foul called as Wainwright thought he had the deuce. Instead, he's going to the free throw line.
Well, if they don't have size, they have physical play. And Wainwright, what a body on this guy. Able to push or legally hit people a little deeper under the rim.
Ish Wainwright, senior from Kansas City. And in talking with Scott Drew, he really personifies what the chemistry of this team is all about.
Very giving kind of a player, unselfish, a lot of little things. Clark Kellogg's fills up that stat sheet. A stat sheet stuffer. Boy, that was a little tougher to get out.
Alliteration can often be tough, right?
Very much so. Nice flash again. Good hands this time.
3-0 lead for Baylor. Kansas looking to get on the board. Skip pass. Mikhailuk on a bounce. Jackson feeds it for Lucas. Doesn't take it initially. Now he does. Too strong. Lucas.
You can offensive rebound. Another turnover with the length and width. Long arms.
Wainwright gets it ahead. McClure, the jumper is short. Back outside, Wainwright. And a tie-up as Graham gets his hands on it. Possession arrow to Baylor.
Kansas had really had a couple of nice, clean looks. And offensive rebound against TCU, Baylor had problems too, keeping them off that offensive glass.
Early change here for Bill Self. LeGerald Vick is in, and Mikhailuk sits for Kansas.
He can make threes, runs the floor, very good around the rim.
LeConte, the trigger man.
And they like to get it to him once it comes in. Pin down, here he comes.
LeConte, the transfer from Miami, has been a perfect fit for this Baylor team. Pure point guard.
He's a real sound player. No French pastry.
Belgian background, in fact. Out of bounds. Baylor trying to dump it down low. Kansas is 0 of 3 from the field, 3 turnovers. Baylor's 1 of 5. First turnover for the Bears.
It's a little sloppy, particularly for Kansas. Straight up man, Bird. Well, they're playing more man this year, Baylor. Little ball screen.
Graham probing. He's hit. Free throws for Devontae Graham, the junior from Raleigh, North Carolina.
And Bird, you mentioned that West Virginia game. How about the threes he made? Regulation, overtime. No quit in this team, and that's the one thing Bill Self said. He just loves their toughness.
And the fact that Mason and Graham, although their personalities are completely different, complement each other so well. Graham, very happy-go-lucky, always smiling. Mason, stone-faced. And so clutch.
Sounds like the two of us.
Who's who?
You would be the stone-faced.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I'd like to pull the crew.
Baylor, we know after yesterday's workout how meaningful this game is for them. And making good decisions, very important. Puts the pressure on Manu in the backcourt.
73% shooter, Devontae Graham, hybrid, so he can play off the ball or handle the ball, and that's the interchangeable pieces that Bill Self has at his disposal.
I could have used you on my college boards.
Oh, the big words?
Yeah, very impressed.
3-2 Baylor.
First time, and this is what he does best now, I think.
Motley Achuel, free underneath.
And Motley with the find, and that's really improved their game. He's an unselfish kid.
Scott Drew has been really happy with his decision-making in the double team. Jackson gives it up. Kansas is down 5-2.
Nice passing. They really pass well.
Extra field. Oh, Lucas gets hammered. Free throws for the senior Landon Lucas. They were not going to give up the lay-in.
I love it, though, Bert. That's good, solid basketball. But the crisp passing, something that stands out when you watch any tape on this Kansas team. Unselfish, really hot potatoed around.
Foul was called on Lawal Achuel. And Lucas, a 59% shooter, is at the line. Fifth-year senior, a bruiser out of Portland, Oregon. Short. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to Kansas, Baylor, or your favorite team. Get instant coverage of every moment from every angle. Download the CBS Sports app today.
And Lucas, one of those guys, the size and athleticism of Baylor could be a problem. He's not a quick elevator against the presence inside, but he could make some good decisions finding people.
Missed them both. The foul was changed to Ish Wainwright. But Kansas has nothing to show for that possession. 5-2 Baylor. Motley lobs it upstairs. Catch, Wainwright in some traffic. Kicks it out. LeConte takes the baseline. Motley fires. Short. Wainwright throwing his body around, and it's a foul.
Well, he had gotten away with a little discard earlier. He is an aggressive kid. Really attacks the rim. A nice compliment to the big, thin performers up front.
And that's number 2 on Ishmael Wainwright, forced to the bench. So it'll be Jake Lindsey checking in for Baylor. Kansas makes a change as well as Carlton Bragg Jr. will see his first action. He replaces Landon Lucas.
And what Lindsey does now, they can play either at the point. LeConte or he can take over. Looks like straight up man.
Kansas 7-1 in true road games this season. They only lost at West Virginia.
This is the weave and the dive.
Mason has not been involved on the offensive end. Jackson's jumper off the mark. Lindsey flies in for the rebound.
6'5", not a bad rebounder either.
Lindsey, very steady, calming influence. Now a sophomore out of Salt Lake City. Motley on a dump down. Lawal Achuel. Ball fake, baby hook.
Funny, huh? Herky-jerky, but effective. And Jackson with a tough matchup on Motley.
Kansas has yet to convert from the field. They're 0 of 4. Mason gives up his dribble.
I don't think Mason's had a shot, Bert.
Leading the Big 12 in three-pointers.
They are up on him with that length.
Mason the drive. Nice fake. With a flush.
How about that little dribble drive? A little lingerie on the deck by the little guy. Tough backcourt. Tough-minded.
Excellent feed from Frank Mason III to set up for the sophomore Bragg. 7-4 Baylor.
A tough match right here. Nice high-low.
Motley loses it. Out of bounds. Kansas will take over. 15:05 to play in this first half.
Nothing like a little guy who can run the show. We got one on the desk. We got one on the floor. Big time. Send it in early.
Absolute shambles, and now 14 years at Baylor. They're accustomed to winning 20-plus games, going to the NCAA tournament, 6 straight seasons, 20 or more wins, 9 of the last 10. And they're 22-4. Number 1 in the Big 12 in scoring defense, holding teams to 62.2 points per game.
And we have that graphic, who they beat in Oregon, Louisville, Xavier, BCU. Unbelievable, impressive start of this season. And right now, this is a confusing kind of D. You got to be patient, get into gaps, dribble drive, maybe collapse 2.
Shot clock is down to 5. Bragg gets a look. Rimming, no. Kept alive by Vic, but knocked over to LeConte for Baylor.
Great check up by Lindsey, too. Keep going inside, I would suggest.
Nooney Oman is in for the Bears. Motley, hard double.
He's got a dribble and then fine.
Goes cross court. Oman.
Oh, yes.
A 3.
And just that drag dribble set it up. Drew a little more blue towards him.
10-4 Baylor. Baylor trailed 11-0 in that loss to Texas Tech. Actually had the lead at halftime.
Nice
In
pass.
some traffic. It's Jackson with a finish.
And Graham with a ball fake to the corner where there wasn't a player set that up.
Josh Jackson out of Detroit. Freshman putting up excellent numbers, 16.5 points, over 7 rebounds, and nearly 2 steals per game.
But he is just sensational, Bird. Amazing performer. Once again, the double, and now the rotation.
Motley curls towards the rim, floats it up, no, but a foul.
When you double him like that, there's no way you should be able to dribble drive. You got to close it. Just a good understanding of where to be, what to do. The little drag dribble gets him over here, and then the cross-court look and see how far they have to go to close. Unable. Pretty good, solid play. And that's what impresses you when you watch Kansas. Crisp, sharp ball movement, flashing posts, always alert to the dump down.
Foul called on Bragg for Kansas. Motley, 10 double-doubles this season. 3-time Big 12 Player of the Week. He's number 1 in the Big 12 in rebounds. He's 4th in scoring and 6th in field goal percentage.
Of course, sitting out that year, the guys who got to play against Austin. Jefferson, you saw Jefferson in your work. Big Rico as well, so you're going to get better. Gathers.
Motley, a 4th-year junior, and that's been the MO for Baylor. Redshirting players, allowing them to develop, grow with the program. Mason, denied! Lawal on 2-0.
I think he had a dump down, too. He's not averse to making that jumper outside.
Knocked to the outside, and Baylor retains it with a 12-6 lead.
Long and lengthy. This is where you got to find somebody quick. You see that little dump down on the baseline, Bird? That's where I thought Frank should have gone. I know he's got the floater, but you can't estimate how big these guys are in the presentation.
7'3" wingspan for the junior, Lawal Achuo. Rebounding total, 7-3 in favor of Baylor. Bill Self has been riding the officials, and fans behind that Kansas bench asking for a technical. 13:06 mark of this first half. 6-point lead for the Bears. Baylor got outscored 52-42 in the second half at Lubbock the other night.
There's that little cross screen they run so well, and then a pin down. Thought he may have walked.
Motley puts some English on it, and a chance at a three-point play.
The length of his arms enables him to do so much around the rim. A lot of guys would give up on this particular shot. Here's the double, but the full extension, we can't afford his shirts, Bert. 38, 39-inch length, and just hanging with it. Nice little deft touch by the big guy.
And the foul called against Bragg.
Ooh, close.
He walked that tightrope.
Toes were up.
And Motley, a 71% shooter, can convert at the line and does to extend the Baylor lead.
But if you had your flag flyers on, they would have been out of bounds.
Yep. 15-6 Baylor. Kansas having a tough time getting into a rhythm on offense. Vic, an open look. Bottom. It's a three.
They're getting shots. It's just a matter of knocking them down. And they'll get more comfortable picking this zone apart. So I think you'll see Baylor do a lot more man-to-man.
Major improvement from freshman year to sophomore year for Gerald Vic out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Those little post rubs, occasionally a cross screen.
Landon Lucas back in for Kansas. Drop step. Oh, the denial by Jackson.
How about that move by Actuel? Before the double gets there, the spin out. This is something they worked on yesterday for both big guys. Do it before they present themselves. Good, quick footwork, and then the counter.
10 seconds left on the timer. LeCompte, the inbounder. Lob it in.
I like to give it back to him. Nice little denial. Scouting, nice hands.
Knocked away. Mason out of bounds with 4 seconds to shoot.
Tough kid, this kid. What a year he is having. All business out there for this club.
Scott Drew sends King McClure into the game. We have not seen Al Freeman. 3-game suspension for Freeman for violating team policy is available today for Baylor. Have to work quickly here. Turnaround doesn't go for Motley. Long rebound. Lucas gets it ahead for Mason. Challenging Lindsay with a bump.
Oh, should have let it go.
Goaltending. That ball would not have gone in.
Should have let it go. Sometimes it's a message early, a la Patrick Ewing in his heyday at Georgetown. This is one of those, you get this guy, get him on the board a little bit, give him a little bit of confidence. Just let it go. Use better judgment.
Luol Actuel leads the Big 12 in blocks at 2.7 per game.
God bless you, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. Gesundheit to you. Baylor makes a change here as Terry Maston checks in. Maston was fantastic against Texas Tech.
Coaches always have an answer, though, right? Scott, I said, boy, this kid can really play, but he can't guard. He's not guarding the way I want him.
He can score, though. Maston just lost the ball. Jackson gets it ahead. Graham lines it up. Off the mark. Omar.
Nice play.
Knocked away by Jackson. Cross court. Mason will take it. That won't go. And it's controlled by Motley for Baylor. Kansas having a tough time from the perimeter. Jayhawks are 4 of 12 shooting. Lindsay looking for an opening, drives in on Lucas.
Nice job by Lucas, helping him recover.
Ooh, circles.
Good hands again.
Graham
Jackson
steps in front, triggers the break for Mason. Lobs it upstairs. Special delivery. Josh Jackson climbs the imaginary ladder.
And Bird, that's all about defense, though. That set it up. He is scintillating around the rim. Couple of mistakes, gets their confidence flowing. Jayhawks in the open floor. Not too many better. We talked about the length on the one side. How about that? Peering down big time. Mason delivers a jarring finish.
CBS. Well, Al Freeman trying to work his way back into the rotation. He was a part of practice yesterday, but he was running with the scout team for Baylor.
Yeah, part of the progress during the season. The ups and downs of players. Maybe not comfortable or supporting the proper fashion. Baseline rubs again. This kid can make the three, and they know it will come.
Baylor has committed 3 consecutive turnovers. Kansas on a 7-0 run. Lob it upstairs. Motley got 2 men in the air and still lost the ball. Graham comes away with it for Kansas.
Don't get back. Maston gives an open look.
Whips it ahead for the corner jump, and it doesn't go.
I love the way they shorten the floor at Kansas. You got to recover quickly, efficiently.
Gerald Vic off the mark for Kansas.
Good hands again.
Another deflection. Jackson got a piece of it.
He is long.
We approach the halfway point, first half. Too strong from LeCompte, and a shove. Jackson just got knocked down to the floor.
Might be Maston, too, with that discard. Just a good opportunity to get runouts. Here's that double. You jump, leave your feet. Nothing good's going to happen right here. They're very lucky the pass was recovered. And this team is active, help one another out. They break beautifully on the post. And they are just trying to push it to get those open looks for a guy like Mikhailuk, who's back on the game, as well as Graham.
Ish Wainwright returns for Baylor. 15-13. The Bears maintain the lead, but Kansas on a roll right now.
At least with those 2 fouls, got to play intelligently. He's got thick.
Mason, the bounce. What a setup for Lucas.
It's very tough to guard. You got the ball screen, you got shooters on the wing. You eliminate any weak side help.
It's a 9-0 Kansas run. We're tied at 15. LeCompte directing traffic.
A little 2-3 zone now. Bill has done more things with wrinkles. Triangle at 2, I've seen him use.
Try it inside. Motley. Lucas there defensively. Crossover. Motley leans. Nothing there. And a block shot as Maxton couldn't get it off cleanly. Baylor will retain it with 2 to shoot.
Well, what a great job of standing up. Lucas with that big chest area. A belly bump.
Baylor has the size advantage, no doubt, but Kansas has clamped down on the inside. Shot clock winding down. Jumper. LeCompte nails it from long range.
And Mason knows it too. Just a little late. He knew from preparation. That's what they love to do.
Second one for LeCompte. 18-15 Baylor.
We've used the high five. Ooh, tough shot.
Mason off the rim, no good. Rebound controlled by Maxton. LeCompte on the push. Looks ahead. Underneath. Motley.
How about that? Running the floor, Motley. Lucas just couldn't get back to support. Pretty good counter, Bird.
20-15 Baylor. Motley with 9 quick points. And a foul called out front. King McClure took the hit.
Fans don't like it. Those surfers. And this is just a really heads-up play. You know it's coming, and you just don't get out there. Took the shortcut, really didn't tag the guy, and then Motley, found by LeCompte, just getting down the floor early enough and taking advantage of the mismatch. Mikhailuk, undersized.
Second foul called against King McClure. Mason will get a breather for Kansas, so that means Devontae Graham will handle it. LeCompte went for the steal. Graham, oh, the floater doesn't go. Baylor up by 5.
Love the way Motley gets down the floor, drags people.
Maxton rims out. Rebound. Vic got a piece. They sprawl down to the floor to tie up, and Kansas will have possession.
Well, a lot of effort expended. High-level performance. Bill loves this team, though. I don't think it's the best Kansas team. Would you agree with me? You've seen over the years. It's just that they just play so well together. You mentioned the guards. Everybody understands their roles.
They have a knack, and they've been extremely clutch. Close games tend to go their way.
Good players and teams and coaches have that happen.
Motley heads to the bench. Lawal Achuel back in for Baylor. And congratulations to Bill Self as well, advancing on now a finalist for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
How about that? That's unbelievable. Goldie Massimino as well, correct?
Yep, Bo Ryan, former Wisconsin head coach. Vic, the jump shot, too strong.
Nice check out. Look, they go rim to rim, Bill Russell style. Really drags the D, makes you work.
Rebounding numbers 15-7 in favor of Baylor. They've got a 5-point lead as we hit the 8-minute mark of this first half. Wainwright watched by Mikhailuk.
LeCompte plays off the ball with Ish at the point.
LeCompte, book it. It's a 3.
Not a good job getting around that screen. Couple of mistakes, maybe fatigue by Kansas that out of bounds. LeCompte didn't cover. This one, just a little baseline rub, and Belgium knocked it down to 3. Euro during the game, but sticking with it. That length is overpowering. And able to do a lot of things a normal up-front guy can't perform. Good hands. He's got a little turnaround jump hook. We've seen him make a 3. We've seen him fake a dribble exchange in prior games. We're getting a little blow now. And let's see, Mason back. I think all the minutes he plays, he gets a little bit fatigued. Right now, they need him to perform at their little pinch post entry.
Motley, who deferred last year to Torian Prince, Rico Gathers, Lester Medford.
Nice pass.
Hooks a pass inside, and Lucas with the deuce.
Mikhailuk just took that dribble a little further drew those neon jerseys and a terrific left-handed entry.
Baylor lost all 3 meetings with Kansas last year. In fact, they've lost 9 straight in the series. LeConte feeds the post.
They're staying straight up.
Extra feed, McClure. The penetration, the pocket pass. Maston has it blocked.
Teams like to drive. Mikhailuk.
Jackson yet to get it going here for Kansas.
Straight up man.
Mason goes around 2 defenders, sets it up. Jackson doesn't take the 3. Oh, what a feed. Whirling dervish, LaGerald Vick with a pretty finish.
And Josh dribbles baseline and finds that opposite corner. Great entry.
That was a skimmer of a pass to Vick. LeConte veering, using the screen from Lawal Achuil.
They got what they want, the big guy on the box. You have a good outlet there.
Maston trying to hit McClure on the perimeter.
Just finding people. Like nobody closes over here, which is a no-no. You've got to get down there. Josh with the dish and then that penetration. And how about the maneuverability at the rim by Vick?
That's 6 turnovers now for Baylor in this first half. Maston having a tough time and having a chat with his head coach Scott Drew as he heads to the bench. Replaced by Motley. Kansas is 1 of 6 from 3-point territory, but 14 in the paint. Fadeaway, rims out for Jackson.
Nice call though, an ISO from the elbow to a one-on-one.
LeConte forced to back it out. Wainwright a 3, rims out. Lucas with a rebound.
He is a big-time rebounder, Lucas.
Comes in averaging 8.4 per game. The flip doesn't go by Mason.
Really unable to get any body contact, too. They're giving him his distance, using their length to negate.
Baylor started this season 15-0. They were 20-1, now 22-4. Still off to a terrific start in the Big 12 at 9-4, trying to close the gap with Kansas at the top of the standings. 23-19 Baylor. 5.5 to play first half.
Nice string out.
Motley drives, dishing out some punishment. Motley floater, no, tipped around. Motley sticks with it, that won't go. Lucas digging in.
Was got a foul?
It will be a push.
Wow. I thought that was a little play on. That's 2 tough fouls against Lucas, but the persistence of Baylor is incredible. Big, lengthy guys, always active around the rim. And I guess they got him for that little discard.
And he heads to the Kansas bench, second personal. And Mitch Lightfoot checks in, the freshman from Gilbert, Arizona.
Playing a lot more because of his shortness up front.
LeConte misses on the floater, and it's out of bounds. Baylor will retain it. 5:19 mark of this first half.
Boy, you don't like to give those Baylor guys second possessions, no question about it.
Kansas is shooting 36% from the field, but Baylor is shooting 33%. Bears have a 4-point lead. LeConte triggers in.
Nice screen, Lindsey.
Ball is off. Lawal Achuil missed it. Jackson open floor. Graham goes cross court.
Boy, they use the floor great. Pretty good reaction by Baylor.
Screen set by Lightfoot. Mason makes his move on a kick for Graham. 5 minutes to play first half. Loop it inside. Jackson the catch. Motley using his body. Jackson maneuvers. Can't finish. Knocked out of bounds by Lightfoot.
He ended up with an easy one, too. The length one.
The critics are calling Superior Donuts funny and fresh with laughs by the dozen. New episode Monday at 9, 8 Central, only CBS.
And you get your head bobbing when you run to that rim against Baylor. And a good open look there by Josh, unable to convert because of the size or the thought of it.
Baylor 14-1 at home. The only loss coming to Kansas State, 56-54, early February. Jump shot, Lindsey. Three. Jake Lindsey knocks it down.
Great presence to know the location. Let's see, they go back to their zone.
That jumper, Mikhailuk, comes off the rim. LeConte in a hurry. No look. Bounces off of Motley. He didn't expect it.
A great play by Jackson as well.
Mason the shake and bake. Off balance, he draws the foul.
Well, what a great reaction by Mason on the defensive end as well, but just amazing the ability to round that rim. Good, solid entry, and then the find. Just great location. Everybody migrates to the basketball, being in the right spot. Lindsay able to convert.
Mason is just 1 of 5 from the field, 3 assists. Comes in averaging just over 20 points per game. A natural scorer because he has that bulldog mentality. So even at 1 and 5, it's not going to stop him.
He's tireless and just great kid to watch perform. Great defender, does so many things for this team. Runs that offense. A lot of minutes.
Makes you pay with floaters and pull-up jump shots. Puts pressure on the defense with his style.
Anything loose up for grabs usually comes up with as well.
One of 4 Jayhawks all-time, over 1,600 career points and 500 assists. Sharon Collins, Kurt Heinrich, Darnell Valentine, the others.
The giveaway, I think, by Jackson. Bird just wrapped his arm around. Motley trying to front him.
Frustrating first half for Jackson. 2 of 6 from the field. Picks up his first foul. It's the 6th team foul against Kansas. 4:01 to play. First half.
Remember LeCompte. He's a guy that gets the basketball back once he gets it in.
LeCompte with Lowell, Achuel, Motley, Lindsay, and Omot for Baylor.
Zone look on the out of bounds.
LeCompte defended by Mason.
I think that foul line and a look opposite. We've seen that earlier.
LeCompte gives up his dribble. Motley out front, 12 to shoot. Lindsay makes his move. LeCompte, a 3. Back of the iron, long rebound to Mason. It's a run out. 3-on-1 developing. Mason. Jackson with a rack attack. Woo!
What? Plenty of time to do the damage. Boy, that kid can soar with the best of them.
He is a great finisher around the rim.
You think so?
You think that was a bold statement, huh?
You were right, though, Bird.
26-23 Baylor. We approach 3 minutes to go in this first half. LeCompte, that's deep. Yes!
He can stretch it. There's all those games at Miami. Built up this kid's confidence. Came here to play. Andrew Rodriguez had all the time.
Jackson, short. Foul as Lightfoot went sprawling into the cheerleaders. Out of bounds.
What do you think of this one? You think he can finish, Bird? With a plum, a bang, a hammer. Jackson with the delivery. Soft finish. It has. I mean, it's just incredible. It jars you. You're not as confident with the stroke because the length, the attack ability. And right now back to the little 2-3 zone.
Baylor making its threes. 5 of 10. Mott going way up high for the big finish.
The pass and the back screen were just gorgeous off the timeout against that 2-3 zone. Great preparation by Scott Drew and his guys.
Out of the timeout, they score with the alley-oop, and it's 31-23 Baylor. Vic thought about it. Now working around the perimeter.
Nice flash, Vic.
Lost it. Out of bounds. Turnover. Kansas.
Brett Lindsay out here. Just look at this little back screen. They get the screen there. What a great setup. Just get everybody's attention. A little brush screen. How about this perfect trajectory? The bang at the end. Pretty simple. Oh my. Oh my.
Just the 4th turnover for Kansas. They had 3 early. Baylor can bring this lead to double figures.
That's the play he loves. That little fake dribble handoff. Nice.
The fake and jam. Lowell Achuel going hard to the hole.
Joe to his friends. Joel, big time. The big guys prevailing.
All the top 25 highlights from the day's early action, including second-ranked Villanova, 12th-ranked Duke, both looking to keep their winning streaks alive. That's coming up. AT&T at the half. Baylor has its largest lead thanks to a 7-0 run.
Pretty good offensive maneuvers.
That's deep. Graham off the rim. Motley the board.
Trying to get it back in a hurry. Still the 2-3 zone now.
Just over a minute to go in this first half.
Straight up man, excuse me.
Lindsay comes to the ball. 14 to shoot. Omot looks down low. Motley goes cross court. LeConte had his defender Graham leaning. Lindsay didn't take the shot. LeConte with 3, with 2. LeConte. He's crafty.
He can. The little guy, when Lindsay gets in there, he can do more damage.
Baylor up by 12. Bragg playing with those 2 fouls. Mason lines it up, and he buries it. It's a triple.
You mentioned this backcourt. They are so cool. Unabashed, under control. Turn that crowd off.
That ends a 9-0 run. There's a 3-second difference. Shot clock to game clock as we're winding down in this first half.
How are you going to handle the ball screen is key now for Kansas. They're going to trap it.
Mason guarding LeConte. 7 on the timer. LeConte.
Nice.
Good anticipation there by Jackson. It's out of bounds with 5 to shoot.
Oh, nice job shortcutting. Just really some counters. Here's that dribble drive into the lane. The confidence to hit that floater. They made some big attempts. Coming out of that timeout, that little lob got the house going, got them going.
Omot lobs it in, up for grabs. Caught by Motley. Shot clock at 2, at 1. Charge. It's going the other way. Lindsay's shot won't count.
Motley, all he had to do is jump stop. But what a heady play by Graham. Hopefully he's okay, feeling that right knee. But just great preparation, plenty of time, and that's an easy call. All he had to do is stop and kick it.
Devontae Graham popped up limping a bit, trying to walk it off right now for Kansas with 5.8 on the clock. Mason scoops it up. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Not bad. Jackson on 3. Josh Jackson nails it before the buzzer.
How about that backcourt? They are so heady, so smooth, so intelligent. Drive the D, circle a wagon, the ability to convert big time. Number 11, your program right now. Josh, big time delivery. Maybe a little spunk coming out. I think it's all about the defensive changes for Kansas, how they handle that double. And divine intervention, Scott, he can't believe he gave it up.
End of the first half, 35-29. Baylor on top of Kansas. Number 3 against number 4 in the country. So now let's go to Adam Zucker standing by in New York.
Thank you, Ian. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Wally Zerbiak and Seth Davis join me with score.
The rebounding numbers 22-11, and they've got a 35-29 lead at the break. Ian Eagle along with Bill Raftery, and apparently the third man in the booth, this little guy right here, joining us as well. Billy, we know Kansas has dominated this conference for so many years. Baylor's been close, very close. They're trying to close the gap right now in the Big 12.
And all we talk about are the big guys, but the little guys have really done a very nice job, and they've been solid, I think, all game on both ends. And goodness gracious, get a new wardrobe, but the ability to get free, you know they've been scouted. Now watch this one from LeConte. All the traffic, it's the deployment that throws the defense off, and he's able to knock shots down. He and Lindsay played very well together. I think we'll see more of that as the second half progresses.
Well, the last time these two teams met, Baylor had a 34-28 lead at the half at Fogg in Lawrence. They have a 6-point lead at the break here against Kansas, but the Jayhawks have been so tough to knock out. They hang around. They find ways. Baylor's losses this season to West Virginia, Kansas, Kansas State, and Texas Tech the other night. Kansas has suffered 3 losses: Indiana, West Virginia, and Iowa State. 2 of those losses came in overtime.
Well, the big thing, I think, is the rebounding factor. You've got to stick people if you're Kansas. Don't give second opportunities to Baylor. That would be a good start. And on the other end, be a little more efficient offensively. Take better shots and see if Mason can go and run in the show, get in the lane and find people. They're so good at that.
Baylor ranked number 4 in the country. They were unranked in the preseason poll.
And Bird, this is a change. They go straight up. We got away with a discard.
Motley can't finish it. Comes up with a rebound. The foul was called before the shot. And it will work against Josh Jackson.
And Motley straight up hasn't been accustomed to that in this particular game. And just a little, watch this little use of that off arm now. Just take care of business. No question about it. On the subway, you get locked up.
He is 3 of 11 from the field. Get it into the hands of LeConte. 6-point lead for Baylor, just underway here in the second half from Waco.
Go to Motley if they're not going to double. They do back you in. You've got to move these thin bodies away from that box area if you're Kansas. Nice.
LeConte ball fake. Tried to bank it. Ball knocked around. Controlled by Wainwright. Another rebound for Baylor.
Well, you're going to pay the price.
McClure loops it inside. Lowell Ochuel didn't have position.
And what a great job by Lucas coming over to help his partner.
Graham had the hole cut off. Inside, Lucas lays it in.
And that worked in the first half, too, with that dive to the rim with everybody spread. You got to stay honest defensively.
Baylor with 8 offensive rebounds, having extended possession, but got no production out of it. 35-31, Bears.
Nice show.
Swings it. McClure.
Here comes a double.
Motley gets rid of it. Shot clock's down to 6. McClure across his body with a flip to the rim.
This kid's played a lot of late. Last couple of games, he's been able to force Freeman, provide a lift with the jumper. That time, a nice looking floater.
The Dallas native sophomore King McClure. Look it up. And a big jam. It's Jackson once again going up high, and Mason finds him.
Bird, Mason could throw that as high as he wants. That was an incredible release by him.
37-33, Baylor. 6 assists for Mason. McClure defended by Graham. High screen, Motley.
Nice job. Now they help out.
Motley, the jump shot. He sticks it.
I'll tell you what, he is a tough out. We've seen him beat Kansas defense in a number of spots that time, stepping out, looming large.
39-33, Baylor. Lucas had an opening there. The cut. Mason, that's your drop.
He really bailed his teammate out. Lucas not one of those guys who's going to jack up that tough angle shot.
9 for Frank Mason III. 39-35, Baylor. Wainwright watched by Mikhailuk.
Nice double screen and then another double.
LeConte with 10 to shoot. High screen, Motley. Motley, pick and pop. Off the back of the iron. Box out by Mikhailuk. Kansas has opened up this second half. 3 of 3 from the field. Mason, beautiful move. Walks the tightrope on a kick out. Mikhailuk, the 3, no. Tip in. Lucas trying to save it. He looked to be out of bounds, and he was.
Good hustle by Ish to create that situation. This is really an ability to do some damage around the rim. This is the out-of-bounds play, but I'm just so impressed with Mason this half. He sort of put this team on his shoulder, doing some really nice things.
McClure heads to the bench. Jake Lindsey replaces him for Baylor. Still no signs of Al Freeman, who is available for the Bears. Motley drives in. Lucas holds his ground. Motley wheels inside for 2.
Well, this kid is a load. Little horn set. And they empty that side, able to ward off with the arm and finish.
He's added muscle, about 20 pounds since he showed up as a freshman at Baylor.
Could have fooled me.
13 points for Motley, and Graham answers with a triple.
They don't go away. You're going to have to play your best to beat this team.
41-38 Baylor. Just over 4 minutes gone by in the second half.
This where LeComp's dangerous. You nice little job getting through traffic by Mason.
LeComp, Lucas shows. Motley's left free, drives in for the flip. No. And a foul called. Motley taking it at Jackson. That's number 2 on Motley, and we step aside. Early second half action in Waco.
Beer for my friend, please.
Thank you.
Rav, time to take a look at the AT&T fast analysis.
Well, just a great understanding of penetration and finding. This is amazing. Now take a look at this, Berg. That's a question mark, by the way.
Is it?
There are no hands down here. And all of a sudden, mysteriously, looming large at the 10. What elevation by that kid, Josh, huh?
Whew. Jackson can get upstairs, and Mason knows he can throw it anywhere close. And odds are his teammate's going to go up and find it. 41-38 Baylor. Mason has not turned it over. He has 6 assists. Jackson has had 3 big dunks.
Nice block by Lucas.
Lucas the seal, but he lost it.
Well, he's great at that, but he's got to do a quicker job adjusting and finishing strong.
3-point lead for Baylor, trying to add to it here with Motley clearing for Wainwright.
Motley, I think, can do some damage with Jackson down on that box. Here they come with that little cross screen.
Lindsay way outside. 10 to shoot. LeConte against Mason. The pick from Motley.
Nice recovery.
Shot clock winding down. Motley
Pretty
gets
dish.
it up. Off the mark. Lowell Ochoa is fouled.
The guy looked right there trying to help out, but that was what a layup. You know, Motley gets such mention about his offensive ability. I think his passing has been just doing such a great job. A little soft, catchable left-hand layoff.
The junior, Lowell Ochoa, shoots it at 52% of the free throw line. Change here. Mikhailuk sits. He's replaced by LaGerald Vick for Kansas. Lowell Ochoa played basketball for the first time in 11th grade.
Fast learner.
He's developed 7 foot, 220 pounds from Melbourne, Australia, although originally from South Sudan, moved to Uganda and then to Australia. 4-point lead for Baylor. Jackson, one-on-one, the crossover. Sweeping move, no. Ball knocked around. Jackson had his hands on it. Tracked down by Motley and saved for Baylor. Lindsay through traffic. The bounce.
No one stopped the dribble. Lindsay with his eyes up. Great layup.
Baylor up by 6. Just about 6 minutes gone by in this second half. Cross court. Graham fires. It's short.
He knew.
Trying to save it. He does. What an effort. Mason the drive. The blow by. Rejected, but a foul.
Got to score the goal.
And they will. On the way down.
It was.
Lowell Ochoa disagrees.
Scott Drew as well.
And a chance at a 3-point play here for Mason.
Different player this half, taking over, putting this team on his shoulders. Knows he's got to elevate this baby. Oh, second look, Bird. Tell you what.
I think you got it.
I'm wrong often, but I was that time too.
Third foul on Wainwright.
That looked on the way down early.
So Kansas could steal a point here. And they do.
Well, you got to put this ball awfully high for these guys not to get it. That's a tough call on a referee, isn't it?
44-41 Baylor. LeConte in the backcourt with Lindsay.
Nice job by Vic taking that duck in by Wainwright.
Motley the cross. He coughs it up. Stolen by Vic. Accelerated. Deflected. Oh, it caromed off the rim. Brad could not squeeze it. Lindsay the other way.
Nothing
Going
there.
1-on-2. Swatted out of there by Jackson.
That's where Lindsay's got to bring the ball around. don't challenge. Very fortunate to get the ball back.
And the fourth block of the day for Josh Jackson.
How about this? Right here, he thought he had his way, but almost got it off the glass to keep it in play. Well, they're leaving it all out there. Both clubs.
Rotating in big men as Omot and Maston both check in for Baylor.
No rest for the rear, though. So many big guys. Again, the same play and not ready. He out of bounds. And Mason knows. He looked at Bill Self. They just do a nice job of screening to let the little guy receive the ball.
Manu LeConte, 4 of 7 from three-point territory. He's got 14 points. The drive and the finish. It's Mason with a chance at a three-point play. Squeezing through.
Maston thinks he's going to get a piece, but this is the same play, Bert. Look at the little bumps on the baseline. You're tardy. Mason knows the preparation, but just here, look at them use the rim here to enable it as a defender. And look at him. This kid never changes his expression. Tireless, aggressive performer.
The second all-time leading scorer at Petersburg High School in Virginia, behind
Moses Malone.
Oh yeah, Malone. You had to finish that off. Not that Moses.
No. He is something, this kid. Overlooked. Not sure where he wanted to go.
15 points, 8 in the second half, and a turnover. Mason loops it ahead. Graham waits for his teammates to cutter. Jackson is fouled by Maston.
And Graham knew what he was going to do as soon as he caught the ball. You saw the ability to run the floor. Josh Jackson, and talk about his ability around the rim. He just does not give up on a play.
Bill Self has said he's really enjoyed coaching this group. Different style, called them as tough as nails. Even when they don't play well, he says they always compete hard as Jackson hits the first. Monday on CBS, it's the ultimate boys' night out on TV's #1 new comedy. Don't miss a new Kevin Can Wait, Monday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. Jackson misses on the second, and it's rebounded by Omot. Foul called. Jackson stuck around in the backcourt, and he scraped LeConte.
Smiling at himself. He knows it wasn't the best of plays.
That's number 3 on the freshman, Josh Jackson.
What a way to get it, though, Bird.
So Jackson will sit Luke back in for Kansas. 3 shots from Luke, no points in 14 minutes.
And Bird, a little 2-3 zone. Be careful of the offensive rebounding now. You know where the guards are.
Kansas has cut it to 2. Lindsey the ball fake. Lindsey goes cross court. LeConte gives it up. Motley turns. Off the rim, no good. Vic couldn't grab it. And it's knocked off of Baylor. Out of bounds.
And you got to compete like that on the glass against Baylor. They are terrific attacking the glass.
Baylor is now 5 of 10 from the field in the second half. Kansas is 6 of 8. And a chance to tie this game or take the lead depending on shot selection. Wainwright in, along with Lawal Achiuel. Motley will get a breather, and he's joined on the bench by Maston. 3 fouls for Wainwright.
Of course, with Motley now, you get a little break at the media timeout. Straight up, man.
A Kansas win would give them a 3-game lead in the Big 12 with 4 games to play.
A weave and a pin down.
Vic gives it up. Graham lines it up. Off the back of the iron. Luke knocked it out of bounds. Baylor basketball.
Pretty sound checkouts, though. You see why Baylor rebounds so well. Not only do they have the size, but look at that body sticking. They're calling it a good call. Once again, the zone. No Motley. Flash others to that foul line.
LeConte has been the difference maker. 14 points. Major damage from the perimeter. Lindsey looking down low.
Looking to get a screen. Nobody's flashed. Wainwright finally gets in there.
Lindsey, penetration, almost turned it over. LeConte in some trouble. Shot clock down to 2. There's the cough up. Up ahead. Mason drives in. Left hand, he missed it. Fight for it. Vic puts it in.
And that's why you run the floor. Vic, very aware, very alert.
Just the second tie of the day. We are knotted up at 47 apiece.
Got a little injury in the backcourt.
Wainwright is grabbing at his left ankle, and he is limping back to the Baylor bench.
He's a tough kid, too. You know he's hurt.
What a battle in the Big 12. We'll continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Adios, honey. Hasta la vista, baby.
The improvement, accepting a red shirt, waiting for your chance. Prince took advantage of it as a first-round pick in the NBA. Now it's Motley trying to do the same. A steal.
Not a good pass at all. Nice run again.
Vic, extra feed, lines it up. Jump shot doesn't go for Graham. Tracked down by Mikhailuk.
Boy, quicker to the ball of late. Baylor's got a button down.
Kansas looking for the lead. Vic swings it. Graham on a bounce. Mason, the floater. Frank Mason III has taken over.
And where he's taken over was the dive. And of course, that guy they'd love to have, but he'll be out for the year. Azubuike, great talent. But Mason so smart with that dive and flash and the ability to finish the deal.
Left wrist injury for Udoka Azubuike has cost him the rest of his freshman season. They have high hopes for him moving forward.
And Bert Wainwright is back. They may be putting him back in.
8-0 run, 49-47. High archer, Omot missed it. Rebound, nice knock around by Vic. Mikhailuk steps into it and drills it. It's a three.
You got to get back and matched up. That's what they're so efficient at. Stretching the floor, you got to identify. Causing this timeout by Baylor.
Cloud, empowering business. Kansas shooting 60% in the second half on an 11-0 run.
And Bert, if you want to play college basketball, it takes talent, a lot of hard work, and constant effort. Look at Lucas in the middle, goes to the rim. They spread the floor. You don't close out properly. Mikhailuk able to knock it down, and boy, does that stretch your D. Little lob out of the timeout.
Lowell Oxuel could not come up with it. Kansas on the attack again. Vic leaves it for Graham.
Nice run by Lucas. Boy, he doesn't make mistakes, does he?
Mason against LeConte. Cross court. Slow it down here with 9:42 to play, second half.
Nice
Graham.
hesitation.
Head and shoulder fake. The fadeaway, rimming, no. Knocked up in the air, and Lowell Oxuel's got it for Baylor.
Yeah, you got to get your legs, get a good shot, get your big guys in position for a follow.
Bears have 13 turnovers, 6 in the second half.
That
Motley, they need it. Jump hook comes up short.
Good shot. Nothing wrong with that.
Graham the acceleration. Mason, Mikhailuk corner pop. Rims out. And Lucas called for the foul.
Just got to walk away from that. Just let it go.
Landon Lucas, that is number 3 on the big man from Portland, Oregon. 6 points, 3 fouls for Lucas.
See what they run now. They got the horn set. Little ball screen, now a back screen.
Motley hands to LeConte. Back to Motley. Spin move. Motley lost it. Lucas there defensively. Motley again. Drop step. Left hand. Motley sticks with the play.
Great footwork by the big guy. Took that bang by Lucas, who stood him up pretty good.
That ends an 11-0 run. Motley has 15. This is a 3-point game.
Keep going to Motley at that end. See if they double. Excellent passer.
Mikhailuk wants to take it away by Motley.
Got to respect the D. And they get back late on a cover.
Wainwright back in. He buries it. It's a 3.
Mikhailuk after the miss. Never identified. Didn't get to cover his man, given the open look.
Wainwright left with ankle trouble. He comes back onto the floor and knocks down the triple. We're tied at 52. Mason, hesitation dribble. Steps. It's a travel on Lucas.
That's what big guys do to you. They get you a little hesitant around the rim, but here you got to respect the size. There's no way you're going to get this. He fumbled it on the way up. But how about this? Never gets back in time because he's got to run cross court to identify. The dish, no question, with the dish.
Changes here for Kansas. Mason gets a rest. Lucas will now sit. Bragg is in. Jackson is in. So it's Graham, Mikhailuk, Vick, Bragg, and Jackson. LeConte, McClure, Wainwright, Motley, and Lawal Achuil for Baylor.
Ball screen, they got him with the slip.
Motley,
Nice.
fake, pull up, off the rim, no good. And the weak side rebound to Vick.
You got an open look again.
Mikhailuk, he knew it, he missed it. Run out, LeConte racing to the rim. LeConte, left hand. Count it, goaltending, and LeConte grabbing his left ankle.
Oh, we got somebody hurt, Bird, yeah.
He's trying to walk it off here for Baylor. It's a 7-0 run for the Bears. LeConte putting on the speed. Gets credit for it. Mikhailuk knocked it too late for Kansas. Game summary, tight one here in Waco with Baylor in front 54-52. Kansas went on an 11-0 run. The Bears have answered with a 7-0 run. And for Mason, he has put up strong numbers for Kansas.
There are leaders, and then there's Frank Mason. That lob, of course, the floater, and now the ability to use the rim. His cutting when he doesn't have the ball is extremely alert. No question about it. Fills that middle against that 2-3.
Out of the timeout, long strike. Jackson had it blocked by Motley. Out of bounds.
See how far they extend you, though? He thought he had a little baby hook, but the long arm of the law. Anything but Motley. As he gets a piece of it, boy, he extends you right out of the 3-second lane. Gracious.
So LeConte is working through that ankle injury. He got credit for the bucket on the goaltend. The timeout was called. LeConte has shaken it off.
They let McClure run the point for him.
Just don't know if LeConte has the kind of movement that he's usually accustomed to right now.
He's not moving that well.
McClure.
Nice look.
Inside. Denial. Jackson. But a foul. And that's number 4 on Josh Jackson. It'll send Lawal Achuil to the free throw line.
And what a play by McClure. Playing with a lot more confidence. And Big Joe. And you mentioned not being as mobile. You just see hopping around a little bit. Yeah, just trying to push off. Still in the backcourt trying to shake it off.
Lawal Achuil hits on the first free throw. Jackson forced to the bench with those 4 fouls. He's replaced by LeGerald Vick for Kansas.
Now you got to know he's not a good free throw shooter. Kansas got to squeeze, and you might see a quick movement by the offense to the glass.
11 points. Attack on another.
I apologize.
The reverse announcer jinx. 56-52 Baylor. It's a 9-0 run for the Bears.
Oh, nice job sustaining, getting back in by Baylor.
Graham was looking for the dribble handoff to Vick, but it was covered nicely by Baylor. Mason. Wainwright there defensively. Mikhailuk circles. Ball fake by Vick. Lost it for a moment. Saves it for Graham. 8 to shoot.
No dribble drive.
Mason goes between the legs, challenging Wainwright. Mason throws it up. He's fouled by Wainwright. McClure there as well defensively.
A pretty good challenge. Of course, that's the other end of the floor. We can really get a good view of it.
It is Wainwright.
Just trying to elevate here, Bird. And they initially did have the ball, didn't he? And follow through. Ooh, that's a tough call.
Mason went 12 for 12 at the free throw line in the first meeting between these two teams. He went 16 of 18 the other night against West Virginia in the overtime victory. And Wainwright will take a seat. He's replaced by Lindsey. Mason is 5 of 5 here this afternoon at the strike.
And the one thing about the West Virginia, he was exhausted, too. Still able to suck it up and knock him down.
At 24 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and the come-from-behind effort against the Mountaineers. Kansas is 11-2 in the Big 12. They've won 12 consecutive regular season titles in the conference. Up next will be a home game with TCU on Wednesday night for Kansas.
Jimmy Dixon's guys, they really did a nice job as well.
Baylor up by 2. We approach 6 minutes to go in the second half.
They got a nickel dimer up front here. I don't think I got Graham or Vic.
It was away from the ball. Vic and Graham were bunched up near the paint area. It's the 6th team foul against Kansas, 5 against Baylor. That foul was called on Vic, his first.
Nice little pin down for an open look.
Motley inside the arc. He buries it.
What a great set. Double screen. Motley able to convert. Let it go through him.
17 for Motley. 4-point lead for Baylor. Lucas gets a touch. The discard.
Steps.
A blocking foul. Wow. Lowell Oxuil.
It's a late whistle, but I thought it was a walk. I know there's contact here. Watch the feet once he gets the Rick Mahorn deal. I mean, it's easy for the officials to just call him a walk, I think. Go the other way.
That's 16 fouls on both sides. New shot clock to work with. Get it in for Mikhailuk.
See if we're going to use Lucas. See if Mason can get in the lane. Nice help.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. Mikhailuk gives it up. Vic, the drive to the rim. He's fouled. And the sophomore, LeGerald Vic, will shoot a pair.
McClure with the third.
See why America is buzzing about the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Don't miss an all-new Late Show Monday. Colbert, the smart choice. So number 3 on McClure, 7th team foul against Baylor. Vic is an 87% shooter at the line. Off the mark.
Nice to see him mixing up the deep shooting with the ability to put it on the deck. Also love the way he's run the floor to be involved in plays.
He took 1,000 jumpers a day to prepare for his sophomore year as he hits on the second attempt. And a more pronounced role for Vic, who averaged 27 points per game as a senior in high school in Memphis, Tennessee. 58-55 Baylor. 5.5 to go. LeConte fires. It's way off. Long rebound. Graham goes up on the scorer's table to save it.
That's a little vintage Mason. Look at him blow by.
Mason slammed down on a follow, and Mason is down on the ground with a foul call, and he's laid out.
Not this kid. Indestructible. Extra Will is the guy, but right here the Americas play and just an all-out effort. I've seen Mason do this. Why not? These two complement one another. When Mason's tired, let's Graham bring it up and run the show. How about that poise and no ankle problem either?
Free throws here for Frank Mason III. 77% on the season, has not missed today. Can crack the 20-point mark with a make.
This is where he rests, by the way. He almost uses the whole 10 seconds.
That's a fair point.
Alonzo Mourning-like, they say. See the return now of Josh Jackson?
Jackson replaces Mikhailuk. Frank Mason, second round. 2 out of 2. This is a 1-point game with 5:19 to play. 33rd all-time meeting. Kansas is 28-4 against Baylor in the all-time series.
And Brett Lindsey on the floor now. The comp plays better, I think, off the ball in this situation.
Motley drive and kick. McClure fires. It's a three.
Provided by a great dish.
4-point advantage for Baylor. Under 5 minutes to play. Jackson hands for Mason. 15 to shoot. Mason off the double team. Clears for Graham. Goes to the corner. Out of bounds on a double hit. Motley and Jackson were crowded there in the corner.
You see Motley do so many things. Gets into the lane here. Finds, collapses the defense, and McClure played well against Louisville. This is just not a typical play by KU and Graham, and just the deflection there jarred the vision.
Lindsey has 6 assists to lead Baylor in 19 minutes. And Lindsey's handling the ball with, as you mentioned, Raph LeCompte off the ball.
And by the way, Motley got a hand that nice little screen to get him this pop.
Short pop. And it's Motley.
Pretty good setup on the screen.
6-point lead for Baylor. Timeout, Kansas. Motley with 19. 7 assists for Lindsey. 63-57. Bears. Coming up next, the PGA Tour on CBS takes you to Pacific Palisades, the Genesis Open. We'll have the coverage for you here on CBS with Jonathan Vegas, Dustin Johnson, Sam Saunders, all at 7 under. 63-57 Baylor. We hit the 4-minute mark of the second half here in Waco.
Straight up man. Lucas tried to duck in.
Mason drives. Mason! Frank Mason is lethal.
Actuel just stayed at home too long. Could have come over and deterred. But you are right. What a leader.
23 points for Mason. It's a 4-point lead for Baylor.
Con hasn't been as mobile. That's part of the problem, I think. A little bump underneath. Might be Vic again. I got Lucas. The ability of Mason to get into this area and know what shot to deliver as the big really doesn't come over far enough. He fakes and retreats. And he knows somebody else's job is to come and take your guy.
That is 4 fouls on Lucas. 17 foul. And a 1-and-1 here for King McClure, who shoots it at 74%. Out of Dallas, Texas. Nails the first.
They are a deep team, too. They play with confidence. They go to the bench. And Scott's got a lot of talented guys.
McClure has been starting with the suspension of Al Freeman. And he gives Baylor a 6-point lead. 3.5 remaining. At the Farrell Center.
I think Jackson's got to be the guy if it's not Mason.
Mason drives, kicks, ball fake. Jackson, long strides to the hoop.
That's a tough matchup for him with Motley. Motley's got to come out and play him. That's the way they got to go, coming down the stretch.
The Baylor lead is 4. Lindsey handles it. Watched by Mason.
Well, they got a hold on the baseline.
They do. McClure shrugging his shoulders.
That's him on the screen, but he kept moving, and that's why he had the ball. You see Motley with the closeout. You're sprinting forward. You're not jump stopping, and the ability to blow by. And Josh, and I think that's what they're going to have to do. Get him coming off a little bump. Have Motley, if that's the matchup, trying to stay with him.
And that's the 4th foul on McClure, so they bring Wainwright back in, who's playing with 4 fouls as well.
And a bum ankle.
Mason picks it up. Under 3 minutes to go now. Baylor 65, Kansas 61. Graham tries to shake and bake on Lindsey. Graham fires in and out. Lucas comes up with the offensive board.
Big time snatch.
A reload for Kansas. Mason slips it inside. And Jackson Skywalker.
That's not fair. That is absolutely unfair. The poise of this little guy to make a find. Ooh, the hammer.
Lob it upstairs. Motley with Lucas playing with 4 fouls.
Nice double.
Tries to kick it out. It's intercepted by Graham. And he's fouled by LeCompte, who's limping noticeably.
We talk about the ability of a guy like Mason. He's got a guy he can blow by with the bum ankle and just the poise, the delay to let somebody who is electrifying at the rim. Come on, back down. Please don't hurt anybody. JJ delivers.
The Baylor turnovers, big part of the storyline here. 16 of them. Kansas can take advantage of the free throw line with Devontae Graham. 1-point game with 2:16 to play.
Remember how good they are in close games. This team has a way, a will. You got to have your poise at the other end. And Motley's going to have to make good decisions if he catches it on the box.
confident free throws from the junior Devontae Graham. We are tied at 65, just over 2 minutes left. And a timeout called by Scott Drew. 2:09 on the clock. Knotted up at 65 apiece in Waco.
I have called you here tonight to tell you how we are going to win.
We're finished with Kansas and Baylor. This Big 12 matchup is living up to the billing.
Unbelievable. What a great afternoon for us. And I think of it, two wounded guys in a sense with Wainwright's ankle. And, of course, Manu LeConte as well, not as mobile. So they've been taking them on the bounce on occasion. Here it's going to be Motley and a double by Kansas, I think, down on the box. He then has to make a good decision. Drag dribble, they have to dive. They got to reverse the ball properly and step in for the look.
Baylor looking to take the lead.
Single double cross screen. He's got to get
Motley double team. They blitz him. 9 to shoot now. Back off. High screen Motley. LeConte uses it. The fake. Drives. Sneaks in. Off the window. It doesn't go. Fight for the loose ball. Knocked to the outside. Graham's got it. Acceleration by Graham. Challenging Lindsay. Puts it up. No good. And it's rebounded by Luau Actuel.
And he did a great job, Actuel, not to get involved there for goaltending.
A minute and a half to play in regulation. Wainwright matched up with Vic. Scott Drew directing traffic.
They got to do a better job getting Motley the ball down on the box. He's lingering out here.
Motley, 5 to shoot. Tries to hand it to LeConte. Shot clock's down to 2, down to 1. LeConte throws it up. Off the back of the iron. Offensive board, Wainwright.
And they don't have to be in a hurry now.
It's a reset for Baylor with under a minute to go. We are tied at 65.
Always talking about Wainwright does so many things. Big time offensive rebound.
LeConte using the screen. Down to 45 seconds left.
They hit Motley. They're not looking in. Here's a double. Somebody's got to move. Cut or look back.
Motley drops it inside. Layup. No! Luau Actuel could not finish. Kansas with the basketball. 7-second difference. Shot clock, the game clock.
See if Bill's going to call it. Timeout.
They'll call it. There's 23.7 on the clock. They may put a little bit more time.
Pretty good interior passing.
The timeout was granted to Bill Self. The question is, when did he call it? Self called for the timeout there. Should have been with about 25.2 seconds, and that's what they're going to do. They'll put about a second and a half back on the clock.
25.1 and 17. They got it up there now. And the big thing now is, who is Motley covering? That's something probably being discussed in the Kansas timeout. Also, at Mason, is LeConte on him because of the ankle. The big thing with Motley is you're dragging him away from the basket. It's a shot block or two. Actuel has to step up if there is penetration. LeConte is laboring here. Morgan Piusberg.
Kansas has had a knack in these situations, finding ways to win and coming up big in the clutch.
And Kansas is great at dribble driving, weave outside, penetrate, either the floater or the find on the wing.
8-second difference. Shot clock, the game clock winding down here in regulation.
A little bit of a zone look. Watch the offensive rebound.
Knotted up at 65 apiece. 8 to shoot. Graham fires off the iron. No. Lucas keeps it alive. Lucas battling. And a foul called.
A gamble when you go zone. You don't block out. Scott Drew wanting to jump ball, but a good clean look. A guy who normally knocks this one down. But look at the effort by Lucas. He's a classic rebounder. 2 hands, and here gets a chance to go to the foul line.
Motley is called for his 3rd foul. Lucas shoots it at 59%. Kansas looking for the lead. He's got it.
How about that?
The Jayhawks up by 1. Second free throw coming for the 5th-year senior, Landon Lucas. It's a 7-0 run.
Baylor has one timeout, so they can decide to bring it all the way to half court and call it with a speed dribble.
Second one is good. 67-65 Kansas. Lindsey gets it into the forecourt, and the timeout called by Baylor with 8.6 left on the clock.
How about Lucas, though? One of the most important rebounds against a team that has decimated him on the glass. He's able to finish the deal with the 2 free throws so early. He's been a big guy. And now we know that Motley is a key guy. How does Kansas deal with it? Do they double? Or if they get him away from the basket, stay single? LeConte is just not the same running the baseline now. So it's one of those, I think you've got to get a ball screen slip to the box with the big guy. Let Motley on an empty side and let him decide, because he is an excellent passer as well.
Kansas has been playing in a bunch of close games. 5 straight conference games of 5 points or less. 9 of their 13 games in the conference have been 7 points or less.
Well, this conference, as we know, TCU, Kansas State, Iowa State, Oklahoma State's on a road winning streak.
Neither team has a timeout remaining.
I would make it tough for Lindsey to get the basketball. LeConte playing off the ball with Mason on him.
Wainwright, the trigger man. Baylor down by 2. 8.6 on the clock.
Oh, my goodness.
Risky pass. 6 seconds left. LeConte with 4 seconds, with 3 seconds. LeConte trying to drive, leans in, off the mark. It's over. Kansas wins a wild one in Waco. 10 straight victories for Kansas over Baylor. And they survive 67-65. The Jayhawks end the game on an 8-0 run.
Talk about a well-coached team. Look at this read by Mason. Lets Lindsey go. He knows he's got protection in the back. Forces a tough delivery. Wow. What a great afternoon for us. Punishment for those at Baylor who lost. But KU continues to plug away. They're used to tough situations in games. What a gutty basketball team. And yeah, let it all out. Bill, can't blame you whatsoever.
Bill Self called his team tough as nails, and they continue to show that spirit game in and game out. Now a 3-game lead at the top of the Big 12 standings with 4 games to play. For Bill Raftery and the rest of our crew, Ian Eagle saying so long from Waco, 67-65. Kansas coming up next, 3rd round coverage of the Genesis Open. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the 2017 Men's National Championship.